Okay, so continuing with our chords. When I look at a chord that causes people a bit of trouble sometimes, and that's an F chord. And one of the reasons that the F chord is maybe a little bit more tricky for people is that you need to be able to move your fingers in such a way you can get two notes, or sometimes three, with one finger, and then another couple of notes where you've got to do that pointing down thing to get them to sound right. So this is your basic F chord. Now, what's happening here is these two notes here, F and A, ideally we want to just point the fingers down so that we don't touch the neighbouring strings. But also what we need is our first finger to cover both notes there. The first two notes, that's C and F. Now, there's, I suppose, a few ways you can do this, but the two main ways would be, a lot of people tend to grab the guitar this way, so their fingers round the back a little bit, and when they're pressing down, sometimes it's hard to get these notes to sound right. So two ways, or two easier ways of doing it, I think, are you could slide this finger back a little bit so it's pointing back that way a little bit, and that would work. Again, this is trial and error, so this probably isn't going to work the first time you try it unless you've played the chord before. Another way to do it is to bring your finger around a little bit and bring your knuckle up so that your fingers, almost like your fingers pressing like a doorbell or something, it's pressing down the way. And you can see the top part of my finger there, where my nail is flattened out a little bit because this is up, and that causes that to flatten out, so that's quite useful. The tricky part is to try and keep that flattened where you put these two fingers on, which is difficult. The reason for doing this chord, I think one of the important reasons is it's a movable shape. So some of these shapes like C, if you move it up a fret, it doesn't really work, okay? Same with G or any of these type of chords that have got open strings in them. So it helps us on the guitar if we can play what you would term movable shapes, which means we've got a shape that we can just slide up and it becomes the next key up. So that's F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A flat, A. And there's a lot of advantages to this because any riff that we play is going to be the same. So anything that we do in, we mess about like that, we can just transfer it up and down the neck. Okay, so within those shapes, so once we get used to that shape, which isn't so easy at the start, it's really cool because it's movable. We can move it all over the neck, and we can play any riffs, we can just play anywhere on the neck. It's exactly the same fingering, exactly the same shape. So, just to recap on that. Same everywhere on the neck. And also, if we change that to minor, now remember minor was find the third note and then flatten the third note. In the key of F, F, G, A. Just remember the musical alphabet goes up to G and then goes back to A. There's no H, not so far. So we find F, G, A is the third. You can check the diagram if you're not sure where it is, that's A. So to play a minor chord, we flatten that, we move it down one to here. Now we put a bar over the three strings there, and that's now F minor. And this also will move. So every time I move up, the shape is exactly the same. Where this is really useful is if you're playing a song and it maybe has F sharp minor in it, and you look up F sharp minor somewhere and it's got this big horrible bar chord thing and you find that really difficult. If you can play these smaller kind of partial bars, I suppose you could call them, then it's much easier to play. So if you suddenly have F sharp, so that's your F minor, F sharp minor. So it's an easy way to get around maybe some more complicated chords. Occasionally in a song that's in a key like C or G or something, you've just got this. Suddenly you've got A flat minor or something, and that's for some people if they're playing C and then suddenly it's like a big huge A flat minor. But if you're you're able to just move those shapes up and down, they're really handy. They're in loads and loads of styles of music. All based around all the rock and roll stuff, early rock and roll, based around those shapes. So they're pretty cool shapes to get to grips with.